Mustangs. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. This is a great time to be on the hilltop. My name is Brad Cheeves, Vice President for Development and External Affairs, and it is my pleasure to welcome you this afternoon as SMU celebrates a new era as a member of the Big East Conference and, as you know, Compass Bowl champions. We know that this news is not new news to any of you, and the announcement of the new conference affiliation occurred right in the middle of finals. Of course, the bowl victory during winter break, and so we think it is appropriate that we gather today to celebrate these two great achievements. What do you think? If you'd hold your applause, I'll introduce our platform party. To my right, the 10th president of SMU, Dr. R. Gerald Turner, our special guest, Commissioner of the Big East Conference, John Marinato, and Director of Athletics, Steve Orsini, and to my left, President of the SMU student body, Austin Prentice. Let's welcome our platform party. We're very honored to have our own Mrs. Gail Turner with us today. Gail, would you please stand? Yay, go Ponies. She's not the first lady. She is the first lady, but she's the first fan, right after the second fan. The move to the Big East, as Dr. Turner has said to us, is a good one for SMU and for Dallas. And that opinion has been shared by the mayor and all the citizens of Dallas, and I know it's shared by you. And we're very pleased to have so many of you here to help us celebrate that. But in many ways, this has been an achievement of the entire university community, but the significant front row folks that have made our reascendancy, especially in the athletics area, possible are our student athletes led by our head coaches and their staff. So would the coaches please stand, and would the students wave so that we might thank you. Thank you. This is a great community, and these leaders perpetuate what's great about SMU, and each of you student athletes do that on a daily basis as ambassadors for our university. And now, our number one ambassador, the president of SMU, please welcome him to the podium, our leader, President R. Gerald Turner.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad. And thanks to all of you on this first week that we're back from the Christmas holidays. We're delighted to have the opportunity to have this celebration for these two particular events, the Big East membership and then celebrating, of course, our bowl victory. The bowl victory, of course, is under the leadership of June Jones. We've been to 3 bowls in a row. We've won 2 of them. And although this is about winning championships in all areas, when the evaluation this fall came through, well, then obviously our competitiveness in football was crucial to that. And so it's all a part of teamwork, and certainly the team did a great job in doing that and bringing us forward with Coach Jones and his staff. There are a lot of other things. Big East has been known for some basketball, and in my conversations with them, one of the presidents said, I said, well, we play good soccer too and a lot of other things, and he said, yeah, we're looking forward to getting you in soccer. And I will tell the coaches who that president was once we play them for the first time. But obviously, it's going to be a great series of competitions. But it's important, and I hope all of you saw these pictures here that were from New York City, Times Square Station, that were in celebration of the announcement on December the 13th. We ran them in the Dallas Morning News, and we also ran them in the New York Times. And then have sent them out to a number of other places, but the commissioner brought that forward, and we thought that was a great way to tell a number of people what happened. And we had a lot of people working with us. If you'll remember, once we started really pushing for consideration in this time of unsettledness within the intercollegiate athletic circles, that the mayor of Dallas and a number of our legislators and others really came together to encourage the fact that it would be good for Dallas and it would be good for the Metroplex if SMU were in the Big East, and if SMU had that visibility. And just think about it, how much more visible Dallas is going to be with all of the things that occur when we go up to play those teams in the Northeast, and how we'll get to know those universities when they come down here. So not only will we get to learn more about their athletic programs, but they will also get to know more about the university. And the votes, whenever there's a change in conference memberships, the votes are by the university presidents. And in the conversations that I had with them, they knew about our ranking within the U.S. News and World Report and where we were among the Big East schools. And fortunately, we were right in the top group. They knew about our ranked programs, and they knew about all the other things about the university, because you're not just getting the athletic programs, you're getting the academic programs too. And so it's going to be a great opportunity for us to not only sell our university and show the competitiveness of our teams, but it'll also be good to bring people to Dallas and to take Dallas to the Northeast. This will occur right in the middle of a very important period for us. In 11, we celebrated the founding of SMU. In 15, we'll celebrate the opening of SMU. And between those two bookends is the Centennial era. And the great thing about this will occur right in the middle. 13 will be a big year at SMU. In 13, in April, we'll open the Bush Presidential Library Center. On July the 1st of 13, we'll officially become members of the Big East Conference. July the 1st of 13. And since this announcement, we've had 3 opportunities. One, to play football against a Big East school that is leaving the Big East, and we thank them for that because it provides us the opportunity to join the Big East, and we introduced them to SMU football, and that was good. That was really good. And then, since the University of Houston is going with us to the Big East, Rhonda and Matt introduced Big East basketball to Moody in a good way, because we won both of those games very well. Congratulations to both of you. Yeah. The person with whom we worked, of course, was the commissioner of the Big East and the chair of their president's group, and other presidents and ADs that both Steve and I knew. But John Marinato worked with us tirelessly. And as he would tell you, he and I made dozens of calls, texts, and so on, not only for SMU, but when I was trying to help him get some other schools that needed to be joining us also as a part of that process. But he has been steadfast in his statements about that it's important to get SMU and Dallas in the Big East. And if somebody says, how do you get Texas in the Big East? The same way you get 12 schools in the Big 10 and 10 schools in the Big 12. Same way. And so we look forward to working with Commissioner Marinato and his colleagues in the Big East, and the home office is in Providence, Rhode Island, and having them down here from time to time. But please join me in welcoming to Dallas, for the first time for him to be on our campus, Commissioner John Marinato.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Gerald. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure, obviously, to be with you here today. I told Gerald that when I left Rhode Island this morning, it was 19 degrees. When I got to my stop in Chicago, it was 23. And when I landed, the pilot announced that it was a balmy 66 here in Dallas. So it's a pleasure to be here. I'm obviously struck by the 2 banners that are in front of me. When After December 7th, we tried to think of a way that was creative to welcome our new members to the league, and we thought about the traditional ways of doing it. And I challenged our staff and said, let's come up with something that's different and creative that talks about the East of the Big East. And by the way, you stole my line about 12 schools in the Big Ten and 10 in the Big 12. I've been using that now for about a year. But we thought that that would be something that would be different. And I'm not as technologically minded as a lot of people around me are, which is a good thing, by the way, because I'm not very technologically equipped. Although, when Gerald mentioned the fact that we have been in communication quite a bit, he's one of only 3 of 16 of my presidents that texts, which is very impressive. Most of my presidents don't text, so at different hours of the day, I kept getting text messages from Gerald. And since only 3 presidents of mine text, I knew who they were from, obviously, when that buzzer goes off at 2 a.m. But shortly after the signs went up, I emailed them to our presidents, all 16 of our presidents, and shared with them what we had done. And someone from my office came over to me at the time, and it was about a half hour after we had gone online with them, and said, "You won't believe this, but they're trending." And you know what that means, I'm sure, but it reached over 25,000 within a half hour, which was a remarkable number. And certainly in no small measure to a lot of what I'm sure you were doing on the internet. But let me begin by formally thanking all of you for having me here today to share in this great celebration to welcome Southern Methodist University to the Big East Conference. I'd also like to take this opportunity to personally thank Dr. Turner and Steve Orsini for their kindness, collegiality, and support over the past several months. You should all know, as we've talked about, that they've both worked very hard and long with me during some very trying times to make all of this happen today. For that, I am very grateful, obviously, and I look forward to continuing to work with both of them for many years to come. It's been extremely gratifying to see all of the great institutions that have expressed interest and enthusiasm in the Big East Conference over the past several months as we move through our expansion process. SMU was certainly among those and immediately became of interest to us for a variety of reasons, including, but not limited to, the overall brand, quality, and competitiveness of its athletic program, the large media market and recruiting base it represents, and of course, its passionate alumni and fan base, following as demonstrated by all of you here today. SMU is a part of a core group of 5 institutions which were formally accepted into the Big East this past December. Together, they represent a most significant step in the evolution of the 32-year history of the Big East to the NCAA's first truly national conference. A bold move that we fully expect will pay significant dividends as we move toward our television negotiations in just 8 short months. Our 5 new schools will increase our overall television household footprint by 6% to over 28 million homes that span literally, as I said, from coast to coast, by far the largest footprint of any Division I conference in the country. After a 3rd straight season of appearing in a bowl game, we believe we are seeing just the beginning of the resurgence of the SMU football program. I know I speak for everyone here by saying all of us are thrilled to have Coach June Jones as our head coach. He has obviously played such an instrumental role in putting SMU football back on the map, and I, for one, am fully confident that joining the Big East Conference will be a perfect next step toward helping SMU return as a national prominent program in the very near future. As all of you know, and as Gerald has mentioned, the Big East also has a rich tradition and heritage in the sport of basketball. We take our hoops very seriously. This year, we celebrate our 30th consecutive year playing our men's basketball championship at Madison Square Garden in the heart of New York City. The Big East is coming off a 2011 NCAA tournament that saw the league earn 11 bids and finished with its 6th national championship on the men's side and a record 8 bids for its women's representation. Our folks spoke at great length with Steve and President Turner about just how important maintaining our basketball brand and quality was in our expansion process. Both have assured me that they share our goal of continuing to make the Big East Conference the single best college basketball conference in the country. I'm excited to hear of their plans. I'm excited to hear of the plans to renovate Moody Coliseum and have been very impressed with the newly created Crum Basketball Center. With great facilities, a talent-rich like area such as Dallas, Texas, to recruit from, and now the Big East Conference to play in, I fully expect SMU's men's and women's basketball programs to regularly compete for an NCAA tournament berth in the very near future. With that, I'll close by reiterating how excited I am personally to be here with you today and how excited our membership is to have SMU among our newest members. We look forward to a great long-term partnership beginning, as Gerald said earlier, on July 1st of 2013. Thank you, and go Mustangs.
All right, if you would, please be seated and bring forward the president of the student body, Austin Prentice. Austin.
Thank you, Dr. Turner. Today is obviously a symbolic way of marking historic change in our university's athletic department. After being a member of the Southwest Conference for almost 70 years, primetime athletics is what SMU not only deserves, but also supports. Speaking directly to us students, moving to the Big East allows renewed legitimacy in all our varsity sports. Today is an opportunity to bundle this momentum sought after and captured by SMU as we constantly strive to become a top-tier university. And as I've said many times throughout the year, we can only accomplish what us students are willing to invest. Most of us need to continue embracing the athletic department just as we have over the past few years. However, the time is now for the entirety of SMU students, both past and present, to set the tone for future Mustangs. Commissioner Marinato, on behalf of this student body, I'd like to present you with an SMU helmet, which hopefully will bring a little SMU presence and a little Texas lovin' to your offices in Rhode Island. And some warmth, hopefully. I know our students are really looking forward to the exciting games upcoming on campus, as well as the many long and fun road trips that lie ahead. So, Commissioner.
When I read the agenda and the itinerary for today and I saw that Austin was presenting me with a helmet, I couldn't let him do that without me reciprocating. So Austin, from me to you, from the Big East. He told me he was going to wear it on campus, but I'm not sure if the bow tie and the helmet go together.
And now would you join me in bringing up Athletic Director Steve Orsini.
Thank you. Wow, it is an honor to be your Director of Athletics at SMU. I have to start by thanking the SMU team, and so bear with me, it's a big team. First and foremost, thank you, President Turner, for your leadership, for your active involvement in selling this great university to a great conference like the Big East. Thank you, Commissioner Marinato and your staff for the professionalism, for the due diligence that you've investigated nationwide, coast to coast, and came up with the right answer. The Mustangs are on top of the list. Thank you, Student Body President Austin Prentice. As you may know, his other life here is as a leader of our students in supporting our athletics teams, and we thank you for that. Without that support, we could not do what we're doing today, and that's celebrating the Big East membership. But thank you to all the students here at the campus and all the faculty and all the staff, everyone on our campus community. It did take a team effort and took many years to put it all back together again from the day the Southwest Conference left us behind. Thanks to the alumni, both locally, across the country, but also around the world. The exposure that the Big East has is not just coast to coast, it's around the world. And I know our alums will be proud to follow us in the Big East. And also, thank you to Dallas, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and the entire North Texas region, because all of those groups also rallied behind the Mustangs, because that's who we represent in the Big East, that entire region. So we're all excited, and I can't thank you enough for your help, because this team couldn't win without you. Today represents a celebration not only of the legacy of Coach Jones, his staff, and his student athletes, especially the 20 seniors that started their journey out as football student athletes as 1 and 11, and not much hope for what we're celebrating today. But their legacy is, as they graduate with 3 bowl appearances, winning 2, and really making it relevant, making SMU relevant in the conversations we had on a national basis about elevating our program to the highest standard of college athletics, and that being the Big East. So that's the legacy that they have left, and we'll always remember them. But it's also a huge step in our striving for excellence in athletics. As you know, everything we do at SMU and the team members I mentioned all strive for excellence in their field, and so have we, and this is a huge step, because the Big East, under Conference Commissioner Marinato's leadership, represents the highest standard of excellence in college athletics today, both on and off the field and courts of competition for all 17 of our sports and over 430 student athletes. SMU is back. Thank you. We are ready, willing, and able to continue our ascent to top 25 in everything we do in the Big East. Everyone in athletics look forward to increasing SMU's awareness on a national scale as members of the Big East. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, team members, for your effort. I hope you celebrate with us for many, many years to come. So at this time, I would like to ask that our football student athletes and coaches to stand and let us congratulate you on a great season and your bowl victory against a formidable Big East foe, the University of Pittsburgh. And also, Coach Jones, if you could come up to the stage, we have a special presentation.
I am here to deliver this trophy to our president and Steve Orsini. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to be able to coach at SMU in this great city and at this great school. I'm more proud of my team and my staff, and I thank them always, because they are the reason that we win. So with that, I'm looking forward to the Big East, and I think we got some pictures and a big heavy trophy. I'm glad it's on the table. I don't have to hand it to you.
Me too. Thank you, Coach. You know, when this whole process started in the fall, What really got it underway was a conversation with Jim Maroney, the publisher of the Dallas Morning News. And he said, because I was complaining about something, and he said, would you like to meet with the sports staff and the editorial board of the Dallas Morning News? And I said, yes, I really would like to, and can I bring some people with me? So Steve and Brad and others, Patty LaSalle, we went to, and Brad Sutton went down and met with the editorial board and with the sports writers, and Kate is here representing them. And I know all of us, from time to time when we pick up our paper, say, why isn't that article up at the top, and why isn't SMU here or there? And since we gripe at them, I want Kate to report back that we're thanking them for what they did to help you go.
As President Turner said, we've been Dallas's university now for over 100 years, and we're proud of our hometown paper. We're most proud, though, of our great university, the wonderful faculty we have, the incredible students, and they represent us each every day on the field and in the court, on the court, in so many places, and we are indeed grateful. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Thank you, SMU. Go Mustangs.